of all, she's a certified health nutrition coach, okay? That's one thing she is. And she lives that because she's a vegan, she's an activist, and I'm real proud of people that that become activists about, especially about eating vegetables and greens and superfoods, because we have too many activists that promote, in my opinion, too much meat. I like it when we got activists that are promoting eating vegetables. And so, but Julie's also an actress, okay? And you look at her face there. You've probably seen her on TV and didn't even, she made some part, actors get small parts, big parts. So when I saw her, I said, I recognize that girl. And I knew she was an actress with that intensity about her as soon as I met her, because she's got that presence. And she's also a writer, okay? And she's written her own productions, and she's produced her own productions, and she's directed her own productions, and she's got a deal going right now. She's working and meeting with Netflix on a project she's working on. So we have somebody here who is a real mover and shaker in many ways. And if you have any questions for her, hold off to the end or write them into the chat, and Lucy and I will take a look. We'll make sure we get the questions answered. But it's a real pleasure to have this intense woman who doesn't take notes. She doesn't put up with too much nonsense. When I was around her those 4 days, man, when she wants to get something done, she gets it done, and in a very warm, cordial way. And so she's sitting there with over there in the beautiful Toronto. So Julie, welcome to our call.
Hey, thanks for having me. So I love end of the month because everybody rank advances and I get to get creative with the gifts and the congratulations with everyone. I woke up this morning and there were so many rank advancements. I spent my morning doing GIFs for everybody. Yeah, it's really exciting.
Well, it's great to have you on the call. And so do me a favor, could you just share, I gave them a little background on you, but could you share a little bit about, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I would say that I would say that I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur. So I have my creative side, the film side, which I'm still involved with. Like you and I spoke yesterday and I said, oh, the good thing about COVID has been that I don't have any auditions and I can just focus on the business, which is great. And then a few hours later, my agent sent an audition. And I was like, that's it. Now I just have to juggle. So yeah, on the film side, I act, I write, I direct. I've kind of taken a break from producing. I have producers that I work with because it makes my life easier. I like to just kind of stay in the creative. And then on the other side, for a long time, I taught yoga. I've been certified. I have several certifications, but I stopped teaching about a year ago to focus on health coaching and nutrition. So I'm certified as a health coach and as a nutritionist. So basically I try and balance both sides of my life and have to make sure that I'm focusing my energy appropriately and managing my time so that everything is moving forward so I don't stagnate. Yeah.
Fantastic. So hold on one second. So how do you combine? Okay, so you know when you know how to act, when you produce, when you direct, when you write. So now you've taken on this production of Purium, which is a new directing job and a new casting job. As you start looking as a casting director, that you are looking for people to join you in the business and looking for the type of people you want to work with. So how do you what really attracted you to Purium?
I love quality foods. And so it was actually Michael, my other half, who found Purium first. And I had been doing research on glyphosate and gut health at the time. And so he was telling me about it and he told me about Biomedic. And I thought, okay, I really want to know about this. So we had a meeting with Raw because we're a part of the Holistic Justice League. We had a meeting with Raw and I really wanted to try the products first before I'd recommend them to clients. And I do have a condition called hypothyroidism, and I've been on meds for years trying to get off my meds. And I've been on Purium products now, like, I guess it's about a year. It's going to be almost a year now. And I started, I guess, mid-August, and by the end of January, I was off my thyroid meds. And I really think that has to do with Biomedic. But I love that I can look at the ingredient list. Sorry, I have an assistant here. Her name is Coco. Everybody give Coco love. But I love being able to look at the ingredient list and see no chemicals, no fillers, no questionable ingredients. And in my experience of working with Purium now for almost a year, all of my clients have seen success with Purium, and just like are like raving fans of it. And it's really helped like people who have some chronic conditions. It's helped those conditions improve. So
so I know we don't make claims that Purium does anything as far as except feed the body and nourish the body. So you actually with your thyroid condition, by eating Purium, you were able to ease off of that, and you noticed that some regeneration in your body?
So it's really like, I have the same philosophy that Anne Wigmore had, and the same philosophy that is a part of Purium, which is the idea that disease really comes from a lack of nutrients, which if we look at the standard American diet, it's very high in calories, but low in nutrient density. So the idea is to reverse that. You want to increase the nutrient density, but reduce the caloric load, because there are research studies that show that if you can reduce your caloric intake, you actually can increase your lifespan. So there's very credible research out there that covers this. And so with the Purium products, what you're doing is increasing the nutrient density in the body and giving the body the tools to actually recover. So our body is really, really intelligent. It can regenerate, but when it's lacking nutrition and has a lot of toxic load, how can we expect the body to thrive? And so, like, let's take the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. It beautifully addresses both those pieces, because you're using the aminos, the Power Shake, and the Apothecary to increase nutrient density, and then you're using Biomedic and the Super Cleanser to get rid of the toxins. And so then the body naturally starts to regenerate. And I really like, when I started to dive into sort of the intelligence of the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation and the intelligence of all the different products, it's not, the products are just helping the body to do what it can do naturally. That's all that's happening. And the other part that I love about the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation is I don't like programs where you're not eating food and you're just drinking like fabricated shakes, because the Power Shake is actually whole foods, and they're just dehydrated. And once you add water, they become raw living foods, because you're actually giving your body food, but at the same time also eating like the flex food snacks and the flex food meals. What I find is that as people's gut heals, they naturally give up, stop consuming the foods that are damaging to them, like say sugar and alcohol, things that really don't have a place in the human body if we're wanting to create health and longevity. And so what's happening is that as people's gut gets better, they're able to heal, like, their body's able to regenerate, and they're not using like willpower to try to stay away from certain foods. They just break the addictions, and they create a better relationship with food and their body. Like, from a coaching standpoint, I don't want someone to do a 30-day program and revert back to what they were doing. I want them to transform, but they transform by having their experience. Like, I have a client right now in LA, and he actually sought me out because we have the same health condition. We had a meeting. He was like, I want to do it. I'm interested, but I don't know if I can go plant-based. And I was like, well, we can talk about that. But he wasn't ready to dive in. And then I just happened to be at a vigil. He saw my video and he sent me a message, and he's like, I'm ready. Like, I'm 100% ready. I want to do the ultimate. can you coach me? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And he sends me messages every day, like just as we were about to get on this call, he's already sent me a message. He's like, whatever day we're on the transformation, he's over the moon. He's feeling so good in his body. But all he's done is stopped giving his body foods that were damaging it and actually putting in proper nutrition.
So when you're talking about the ultimate lifestyle transformation, which it's my favorite pack, that, core 4 ultimate lifestyle. So how do you find when you combine the power shake with all the greens with the aminos, and talk a little bit about the apothecary? What's so special about those?
Well, with the power shake, it's that, most people, you want to be aiming to get like 9 to 12 servings of veggies and fruit. Most people don't do that, right? They just don't eat enough greens, and they tend to, whatever veggies they do have tend to be like, in North America, it's like French fries. French fries are what's considered vegetables. And so by having the power shake, you're having like 6 servings of veggies in one go, right? Which is amazing. And then with the apothecary, not only is it great for helping to produce melatonin naturally, but it's like having 20 cups of blueberries. Now, I love blueberries, but I've never actually eaten 20 cups of blueberries. Your stomach fills up with fiber at a certain point, and you can't have any more. And then with the aminos, what I love about the aminos is, like, it's pre-digested, it's vegan protein, it comes from a plant source, but whether you're eating meat or eating plants, your body's only utilizing about 16 to about 40% of the protein you're eating, because everybody, like, the resistance to a plant-based or a vegan diet really has to do with people get worried about protein. And it's like, most of the protein you're eating doesn't get absorbed anyway. But with the aminos, it's like 99.9%. Like no wonder people lean out on this program, because it's anabolic and you're building muscle as you're burning fat, because in the power shake, there's rice bran solubles which help to burn fat in your body. So, and then you're also taking care of the gut. Like, gut really is like, if your gut health is off, then you can't have a healthy body, because all disease originates in the gut.
So, okay, so the biomedic, your clients and yourself, and you really noticed a difference when you started the biomedic?
I did, and I got curious because I knew the link between glyphosate and autoimmune conditions. And I've been, like, obviously experimenting on myself for a period of time, and with, like, cutting out certain foods, because when you have certain health conditions, your body literally can't tolerate certain foods. So, like, for me, the big thing is sugar and alcohol and dairy. Those are not good if you have thyroid conditions. Gluten's another one. And so I'd done all I could in terms of my diet. There wasn't much more I could do. But from the gut health standpoint, I hadn't really looked at removing toxic chemicals and heavy metals and glyphosate. And so what I have noticed is the ability to go off my thyroid meds. And, I've been off my meds now since the end of January. And there are other people that I know on our team that have seen an improvement in certain food sensitivities. Like, I had a client who did the ultimate, I guess, mid-May into mid-June, and she had food sensitivities and skin stuff. And she's noticed that she doesn't have those same food sensitivities. And I think it really has to do with the biomedic.
So I want to ask you a few questions about your business in a minute, but I want you to make a few comments about, how long have you been a vegan?
I guess, like, I stopped eating meat back in 2004.
Okay.
Before there was Instagram and Pinterest. I would say I was like an occasional egg eater. I didn't really get into dairy. Dairy wasn't really my weakness. And then I would say fully, when I met Michael was vegan. That would have been like 7 years ago now. and then I guess like with the kind of awareness that I have now in terms of not just my food, but clothing, makeup, all that, probably 2 years. Like I'm much more conscious of what I purchase and what I put in my body. And it also has to do with that we are currently in a climate crisis. So becoming more aware of how things are produced and how that impacts the planet. That's also, so I'm an activist, but I'm an activist for animals, for the planet, for people, like all of the sort of things that are going on out there. I pay attention and make sure that I'm aware and I'm making more conscious choices.
So as a committed human being to plant through planetary wellness and animal taking care of animals and what have you. So when you looked at Purium and you saw the array of 45 different vegan products, that got you, from a vegan's point of view, that got you pretty excited?
It did, because in this space, well, there's another company that's 100% vegan, but I don't like their formulations. I don't think their formulations are effective. And so it's important that whatever I'm recommending actually works, because I don't want people to just spend their money. And then the couple of products that aren't vegan, like, you know, some people don't mind bee pollen. I personally don't use it. And so having a product line that is, I don't know, what, 98% vegan, I would rather work with that company than another company that might be 100% vegan but doesn't have the formulations that are going to be effective for people's health. And the other part of it is I also like the commitment to the planet, like phasing out plastic and you know, just making sure that we're reducing our carbon footprint just by how we're formulating products. The fact that our vegetables and everything is dehydrated at the farm level, so it means that there's less things going into transport, less food going into transport, less food being wasted, because that's another aspect of helping the planet, is also paying attention to like the huge amount of food that gets wasted in North America, that just goes to waste on the store shelves, goes to waste in transport, goes to waste in people's fridge. Like all that is good, isn't good either. So it's really having a more holistic view of what is going on. And so I'm proud to be partnered with Purium, because I think they're heads and tails above other companies in this space.
Mm. Well, I certainly agree with you. And you know what? It looks you look healthy. You look radiant. I think you're going to get cast into a movie here soon, young lady. Huh? Pretty soon. I can feel it. Your energy's beaming.
That's fine. Like I don't mind being on set. I'll just hand out my promo code and get everybody to do an ultimate. We could do like a group transformation on set or something.
Yes. And so, okay, so that's a good segue. So here you are, as you said, you know, when you spend many years as an actress, you know, taking those pictures, getting your pictures out to agents and directors and casting directors, and now all of a sudden you say, yeah, I think I might want to be a producer and writer myself. I mean, if they can do it, I can do it. So you start doing that, and then you start directing a few things. So when you look at Purium, and Purium's part of your production company now, and when you think about looking and attracting people to join you as brand partners and customers, what do you put your casting director hat on? What do you do?
I do. I look for people who are hungry and motivated. I also look for people who are like-minded, right? Like I'm not going to have a lot in common with someone who's like, say, on a 100% carnivore diet. That is not my person, and that's okay. So I make sure that I'm more discerning about who I bring on, because when you're building a team of brand partners, these are people that you're going to be talking to every single day and connecting with in some way, shape, or form. And it's important that you actually like them as human beings and can spend time with them. So I'm right now, I'm on the hunt for people who are, that's a funny word, but I'm on the search for people who do what I do in terms of health coaching and nutrition, because obviously it's an alternate revenue stream for people, and that can be a really, really good thing. And then the other thing is just people who are motivated. Like I have a brand new brand partner who started with me this week, and she's a mom of a couple of kids, and she actually also used to be in film as well. And she just really wants to build a business. She's a stay-at-home mom. And when I spoke with her, I kind of like Alyssa popped into my brain. And I was like, she said to me, she's like, well, how can I do this? Like, I'm not a nutritionist. And I said, that doesn't matter. Like, all that matters is that you want to do this for your own health, and you want to help others. And whether you don't need to be a nutrition expert. I'm like, whatever questions you have, you can just send my way and I can answer them. That's my role. But if you want to build a business to support yourself and to support your family, like, that's awesome. And we have people from all walks of life who do Purium. So, I'm always looking for people who are motivated, who are hungry, and who are like-minded, like wanting to help themselves, help others, help the planet. That really, I think, is in line with what Purium is about.
Fantastic. I'm looking over at the chat, and it says, here's Jael says, Julie helped inspire me taking the steps towards veganism.
Wait till I'm down there. We're going to go to a vigil together.
Nice. So you got a lot of people, yes, people really loving everything you're saying. And let's see if I got a question here. If anybody got a question. Congratulations on everything you're doing. Great team. You're such a great team leader. So I just want to, and I think you're giving us some really good, sound, simple tips, Jules. And so if you were, if you could just say, what is your why?
My why is freedom. Like, I want to be able to work from anywhere. I want to be able to travel. And I also want to be able to pay it forward as well, too.
Got it. So, well, we've hit here about 25 minutes into this chat. Lucy, would you like to, you have a question or a comment you'd like to make?
Well, if we, some people right here, they're not diamond yet. Okay, they're working their way to diamond. If you can just give us one tip, one beautiful tip that can take them to the next level. What do they have to do to the next level?
If they can find people to run with, because it's a lot easier to run with a team than to try to get to diamond by themselves. So attract some really solid brand partners who want it as badly as you do. And then the other thing is to just be really, really committed. Michael and I were talking about this yesterday, and it's like, doing Purium is way easier than acting. Like, in acting, you just get told no a lot. Like 99% of the time people say no. Actually, no, you know what? You go do an audition, they don't even call you. You have no idea. You just know that it's time, when it's time for them to do fittings and you haven't been called, you didn't get the job. So Purium is way, way easier than that. And the other thing I would say is, the more people you talk to, the less you're going to care about the people who say no, right? So just talk to lots of people and put it out there what you're doing and why you're doing it, because that's going to attract the people that you want on your team as customers and as brand partners.
Well, I'll tell you what I love about watching you and hearing you is who you are. I love your gentle nature, your kindness. I love that you're a vegan. I love that you take up these issues and stand up for them, and you go demonstrate and go to places where you let people know that, you know, you don't believe in what certain things are doing. And I think the greatest gift you have is that you're just really a good person, and it
Aw.
shows, Jules. So I think
I,
that's your gift. That's a major gift in your heart.
I also think like my Purium experience, and I'm sure Michael will echo this, is that having come into Purium and like everybody that we've worked with, everyone we work with, like it's just been such a positive experience. Like we've literally attracted a high vibe group of people that we can spend with. Like I just call up Jael out of the blue. Like we just shoot the shit for whatever we want to talk about and message each other and stuff like that. And I talked to Angelo yesterday afternoon, and he was telling me his doubts about getting to Diamond, and we chatted about it. And then I woke up this morning and he was Diamond, and I was so happy for him. So it's like literally, you know, be the change that you want to see in the world, what Gandhi talks about, and just really standing up for what is right, like being on the right side of history. And it's amazing the people that we get to work with every single day, from like Ra and Seema to Ian, to you guys, to everybody in Holistic Justice League. Like, this is so much fun. This is like a crazy amount of fun. And I can't wait to see what happens at the end of August. Who's going to be rank advancing, you know?
Well, my gosh, you know, you're such a gift. You know, when we give thanks for the human spirit, you all, and the animal spirit and all spirits on this planet. Julie, you're a real leader, and thank you for sharing just those gems of who you are, young lady.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're you're such a special soul. So on that note, everybody, let's hear a big round of applause here for this lady.